How's it going, guys? I'm Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. I think we have to do a retraction from last week's.
It's not really a retraction, but an amendment.
I believe last week we said we were doing
horror movies.
But a specific type of horror films, right?
We didn't really say a specific type, but then after the show last week, we started talking about what are going to be the next movies, and we ended up making a specific type.
Forget what you heard last week. Well, not the episode, but what the theme of the month was going to be, I guess. Right?
Right.
So this month's theme is going to be Nazi horror films or Nazi alternate history. Nazi stuff.
Horror films, yeah. Nazi-themed horror films.
We're getting real specific nowadays. I believe this month is going to be a really niche month for people. Honestly, after we came up with the whole what we were gonna do, I just didn't realize how many Nazi films, horror themed Nazi movies were.
Right, because then the Nazis did a lot of occult studies and stuff like that, and so it's really easy for writers, I guess, to 50 years later go, what if they did this and they invented time travel and they did, made zombies and they collected religious artifacts that gave them superpowers. And
they always, that's always a running theme too, right? Just religious artifacts in any type of Nazi film.
Right. Well, because they did. They collected them.
Because I believe, even if we wanted to, we could throw in Captain America, the First Avenger.
Right, Captain America,
Hellboy.
Constantine.
Was that in there?
Yeah.
They had some Nazis in there?
Yep.
Man, just... and then there's also, video games where, Nazi zombies with the Black Call of Duty series.
Right.
They have those. It's just such a weird thing, because I know, World War II, the major, enemies were Nazis. But then I keep listening to, I forgot what the podcast was. I will shout it out next week. But then they had talked about how much more evil the Japanese were than the Nazis.
Right, but we're friends with the Japanese. And
now...
Well, yeah.
Not during the war.
And sure, we're friends with Germany. But the Nazis kind of were that little cult of...
It's a very cult-ish manners.
Yeah, and so it's politically okay to still hate them.
Well, no, I think I think it's because
we can like the Middle East, but we can hate ISIS, and then
Well, I think it's because the Nazis had concentrated their hate onto one specific race.
Yes.
Japan had just hated everybody that was not Japanese. And that didn't feed into their agenda.
Right.
So maybe that's why. And also, I'm pretty sure they're the reason that the war started. So,
yeah,
right, invading Poland. We are not historians, so I don't want to get tweets or anything talking about learn your history, man.
I never learned about when the Japanese invaded Poland. What?
So this week we decided to do The Devil's Rock. It's a production from New Zealand. Came out in 2011. And it's really cool. I haven't noticed, but a lot of films from New Zealand started popping up more and more after 2010. Death Metal, or no, oh god, Death Metal, right? The one that we did earlier.
Deathgasm?
Deathgasm, there you go. Deathgasm. I watched one that was on Netflix, the People in My Walls or something like that.
I believe that a lot of the Lord of the Rings
Was filmed there.
And that really brought in a bunch of money.
Oh, okay.
To that industry there.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, there's like the guys from Flight of the Conchords.
Right.
Taika Waititi. The guy who directed Thor Ragnarok is from New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
What was his name? Korg?
Yeah.
Hey, man. We gonna start a revolution. Oh, me? He's dead. But yeah, so it's really interesting. Like I started like searching up like New Zealand movies, and surprisingly, there's like a lot, which is awesome. I always be kind of cool to go to New Zealand. I don't want to do the Lord of the Rings thing, but yeah, I just like I'd want to see like I want to be at the top and just see it, because I know people like go to New Zealand and they do the whole walk.
Right.
That's too much work. I just want to.
It's a lot of walk.
Why start at the start when you could start at the finish line? But yeah, so we watched The Devil's Rock. This one, it's starring. Let me see. I don't know. They're not really big names. I think Matthew Sunderland. He sounds kind of familiar.
I remember that's the main guy, right? I remember
that's the German soldier that he's stuck in there with.
I like the main guy. Looked familiar, like I had seen him in something else, but not recognized. Not like I'm like, oh, he's the guy from the thing with the movie with the people. But
no, I think you might have seen him in Eagle versus Shark.
That is a possibility.
I feel like that's a movie you might have seen. Or actually, you know what? He was in 30 Days of Night.
Oh,
he could have been like one of the firemen, or like not firemen, one of the cops, or one of the vampires in there.
Totally.
So I think like these guys definitely were like in a lot of things. Also the guy who played the German guy, he was in a lot of things. But they're probably to the American audience, they're just like not noticeable, not key guys.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so this movie, a little quick rundown about the movie. It's about two Allied soldiers going into an island.
Right, and, the Canary Islands.
The Canary Islands.
And it's the day before D-Day?
The Channel Islands.
The Channel Islands.
Yeah, it's a day before D-Day. Was it like Normandy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're sent there to secure all these islands to make sure that there's no like surprise attacks or anything. So we have our main guy, Grogan. Craig Hall, and then we have his friend Joe Tane, who I think he looks more like one of those like native New Zealand people, because, or I think after The Rock became big, every production sort of wanted like an island type of looking guy in their movies. Because remember, we had one even in last week's film, Frankenstein's Army.
Right. Yep.
I'm like, I think what was that movie from the Czech? I was like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, they go into an island. They try to secure any like enemy bases that the Germans might have in there,
and basically take out their major artillery. It's like sabotage their major artillery gun,
and probably like radio, like also their radio connections and all that stuff.
Right.
But so they're storming this beach, and then they run up into a compound. They hear like the screams of like men and women in there. And so our main guy, Captain Ben Grogan, he wants to go save them just because he's just that type of person.
Right.
His partner doesn't want to. He's like, that's not the mission. We just need to finish this.
Yeah.
Because he has someone waiting for him back home.
Right.
He doesn't want to like risk any more danger because prior to that, he had accidentally stepped on a landmine. And it was Ben's fault, Ben Grogan, because he was like, "Oh fuck it, I'm just gonna walk it."
Right, because he had a wife, but she ended up passing away.
Yeah, during one of like the major attacks or something like that. And so his partner Joe just wants to like blow this building up, blow the compound up, and then leave. Ben being like I guess a good-hearted person, or maybe just a soldier that has nothing left to lose.
Right.
But maybe he just wants to save as many people.
I feel like it's that he has that inner obligation, like he couldn't save his wife.
So he has to save everybody else.
So he feels like he has to...
Yeah.
Maybe if he saves enough people, then that guilt will go away.
Yeah. But after that, he's like, oh, just give me 10 minutes. His friend says, no, 5. They go into front of I think the hallway. A German soldier gets out of there, but he's speaking gibberish.
Right, and
it's not English, so it's gibberish.
And he's very distraught as he comes out.
Well, it looks like it seems like he's gonna be he's asking for help in German.
Right.
Joe distracts him, whistles at him, and then Ben Grogan comes up from behind, stabs him in the neck, which is an insta kill. And if you've ever played Call of Duty or any first person shooter game, but yeah, so they end up going into this compound to the much of the dismay of Joe. He agrees to his captain's orders. They go into the compound. They storm it. Well, not really storm, but they wander around it.
Right, and you can. So they enter where the major artillery gun is, which is kind of up on the rocks, and then the compound itself that they can see is pretty far away. So it's like this kind of maze of tunnels underground, and so they kind of go from where the artillery cannon is through these tunnels, and so it is that they go in separately, and then they can't find each other because there's a maze of tunnels.
But yeah, so Ben actually, I think he's sort of where the radio communications is.
Yeah,
that's the room he ends up in. Unfortunately, Joe ends up in the tower. He picks up the grimoire that. Right? Or the book. And
right.
He's flipping through it. There's demonology into it. And so you start to sort of feel like what this movie is about is the occult or summoning a demon, because it was very blatant with the photo of an actual demon in full color.
Right.
I feel like usually grimoires just have a black and white photo.
The first couple pages he goes to, Yes, I have the same. The first couple of pages he goes to is this very muted, the devil face is a kind of a reddish. But then they flip to there's a page where there's a symbol drawn on the ground. It is very watercolory.
I don't think they had enough time to make watercolors, because usually I feel like this grimoire is probably been made hundreds of years back. Where do they get the colors?
Right.
Well, probably for the demon, it's probably a virgin girl's blood.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But then for the other colors, don't know where.
Yeah, there's pinks and greens and yellows.
They had the extra budget, so the movie was let's color it. But yeah, and so as Joe is like going through the book, he see, this is the part I think I was cooking when I was watching this film, so I forgot how he died.
So the German soldier just walks in on him while he's looking through this book, and he is like so entranced in the book of like, what in the world, that the German soldier just walks right up on him, pulls a gun, he turns around, and then you see, then it flashes to
Captain Ben.
Ben in the hallway, and you hear a gunshot.
Okay. See, for a second while I was cooking, I turned around, and then when I turned around, he was on the floor, like gargling on his own blood.
Yeah.
So I thought the demon got to him.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. It's the main German soldier.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't get to see the demon until Ben sees it, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So Ben does get not. Joe dies in a pretty horrific way.
Right.
Because I think he gets almost
so he gets gut shotted, and then once he's on the ground,
disemboweled, right?
Yeah.
All his guts come out, and then the eyes are gone. Or is that later?
No, that's later.
Okay. And then Captain Ben Grogan, he gets knocked out, and then he gets tied up in a pretty bad way too. Like, he ties up his thumbs.
It was kind of genius. I never really thought of that.
But then again, like in any spy movie, they say that if you're handcuffed, you have to dislocate your thumb to wiggle it out there.
And you can't do that when your two thumbs are tied together with like fishing wire.
Well, no, but I think I'm pretty sure at some point you could just dislocate them, right? Like, I mean, because he hooks him up, Leatherface style, but only by his thumbs, which I kept laughing about. But it looked like it hurt.
But yeah, I mean, you twist your arms backwards and you tie your two thumbs together behind your back. There's not really a whole lot of movement left in your arms then. And then you lift it up enough that you could put it over a hook on the wall. And you're just kind of stuck there.
But I don't know. It just looks silly a little bit. But while his thumbs are tied, Klaus, our German soldier, he says, "Oh no, she's hungry again," and takes he shovels.
Oh yeah. So at this point now, you're in a room where there's a number of mutilatedly dead bodies.
Yeah.
In the room, and Ben is still thinking that this is the German who's torturing, and that these may have been American soldiers, or they have been something that were captives, and they were just tortured and mutilated like this to get secrets.
Yeah.
Because now the German soldier has also asked him a few times, what do you know? Why are you here? Pretty vague questions, but it's like the beginning of like an interrogation.
Yeah, I mean, because he is still a German soldier,
right,
who loves his country.
Yes,
which he already. Oh my gosh, he repeats plenty of times throughout the film.
Right, but like you said, yeah, like you can hear the woman upstairs screaming, and that's when he says, "Oh, she's hungry again." Grabs a little bucket, grabs a little shovelly kind of thing, and just shovels some guts just right out of the mutilated bodies
into a bucket chum.
Yep. And then takes it upstairs or downstairs out the door.
Yeah, but Ben, he looks at this and he's like, who is he feeding that to?
Right.
Or like, what is he feeding that to, But he actually gets out of his little thumb prison hook.
Yep.
But it's not enough time for him to do anything about it.
Right.
And so he's found on the floor. Klaus sees that, sets him up on a chair, and as they're talking, he's trying to extract information from him, like, what do you know? Who else is coming?
Right. Where did you land on this island? Where did you come from? What would your...
Like, what is your mission?
Yeah, where would you be? Like, where would a ship?
Yeah, or like he wants to know all these like military just strategies that they're going up against them. But at this point, while he is asking them all these questions, the loudest rope cutting is insinuating as of this moment.
Right, because he had while he had pulled his thumbs off of the wall and untied his thumbs, he still kind of tied up, and so going around the room trying to find something to free himself, he finds a can opener.
Yeah.
And so he's in a chair getting questioned, but he's got this can opener and he's trying to use the can opener to cut through the ropes.
Which I don't know if it was like an A&R problem, but as Klaus is talking, you could hear the subtle threads being cut, or you could hear the friction that he's creating.
Right.
Trying to...
Maybe he's just thinking that he's wiggling his hands to try to get free.
Yeah, but I think that sound, because he's a German soldier, let's be honest, he's probably been tying up a lot of people at this point.
Yeah.
He should know, like any good person any person that's good at their job, the difference between struggling against a rope and cutting them.
Right. Maybe he's still a little half deaf because he just shot the other soldier in these catacombs. So there's a lot of echo.
Maybe. But the moment Ben gets free of his restraints, I know, I think it was a peeler, a fruit peeler, because he stabs him, but it doesn't go that deep. And so he stabs him in the chest. Oh, well, this is before Klaus had taken out the photo of Ben's dead wife and is like, I'm going to burn this. And he's like, who is this? Girlfriend? Wife? A woman waiting for her hero to return? Like, wow, geez.
Right.
But he starts burning it. Ben gets really mad. And so when he finally gets a chance to stab him, he does. Which I thought he stabbed him in the throat.
I think he just, like, throat punched him. Because there's no blood or anything, so...
No, because remember, when he gets into the room, he is, like, bleeding pretty badly. Because he had blood all over his shirt, like, running down. So I think he definitely stabbed him. But maybe it was just, like, his collarbone.
Right.
Around there. Maybe he's probably pretty tired. Can't knock him off for his accuracy.
Right.
But yeah, Ben does make his way all the way to the top of the tower. I'm guessing is where she's being held. He walks into this room that's just...
But in the struggle, he grabs Klaus's gun, and as Klaus runs out of the room, he shoots, and he doesn't know if he hits him or not, but a little while later, as he's kind of tracking him, you find like a little trail of blood, so you realize that he has shot Ben has shot Klaus.
Oh, Klaus. Oh, okay. So maybe... Oh, yeah, because then he did have to remove the bullet earlier. Yeah.
Well, later.
Yeah, later, yeah. But yeah, so Ben does get up to this room. It looks like they're summoning a demon because there's, like, a whole bunch of candles lit.
Right.
There's, like, these symbols drawn
on
all
the
over
wall.
the place.
Yeah.
But he finds this woman in a dark corner, saying... And he's trying to, like, comfort her, saying that I'm going to get you out of here. It's going to be all good. And at that moment, because he's saying this in a New Zealand accent, and it kept making me think about Lord of the Rings, and it was Gollum. Like, the moment the demon turned her head, it was just going to be the guy who played Gollum.
Would have been a very different movie.
But it actually, the moment she turns around, it's the face of his dead wife.
Right.
And I think he shits himself just a little bit.
Right. Yes, and it is definitely like a play in his brain because he knows that he was just recently holding the body of his blown up dead wife, and now here she is, and not just look like her, but she's like, Ben, you're here. It's me, Helena. And that's his wife's name, and it is just a mind trip for him.
I mean, for me at this point, if I was Ben and I saw, like, a doppelganger of my wife or someone who is claiming to be my wife, at this point in time, if I was in this war, I would have been like, oh my God, you German bitch. Because, the possibilities of, like, them doing this whole demon ritual thing is pretty low. And the possibility of this girl being a German spy married to an Allied soldier is pretty...
Right. That there's more chance that they found out he was coming to this island to play this trick on him than it was that they actually summoned a demon. True.
But yeah, as she's the demon is trying to coax Ben into letting her go
because she's chained to the wall.
Klaus makes his way up there. He has a gun, I think he has an automatic rifle, and she shoots Ben in the knee, I believe. No, like in the thigh.
In the thigh, yeah,
or something like that, and then shoots the demon in the face.
Right.
Which sends Ben into, like, this rage because even though he knows that it's not his wife, it can't be his wife, just the image of her dying is enough to send him over, and he's beating Klaus pretty hard, but then as he's choking him out with the assault rifle, he's like, just trust me, it's not your wife, it's a demon or whatever. I forgot how he coaxed him into, like, letting him
right
go.
And he was like I will give you the information on Germany's greatest secret weapon.
And it involves her.
Yeah, if you let me live.
Yeah. And so he eases up a bit because he's still a soldier and he still wants to end this war fast as possible. So he wants the information.
Right.
Basically. But then he starts to hear, like, Klaus starts to tell the demon, like, stop faking it. Because at this point he's up now. He picks up a leg.
Yes.
Like a severed leg. Like, it's like, like a turkey leg at a Ren fair. and he tells the demon, he's like, stop faking it, demon bitch. And wake up. And at this point, the demon, she pops, like, she's like Wolverining it. And this bullet just pops right off her head. And then he just throws her like a leg.
Right.
But she's still trying to coax Ben into letting her go.
Yeah.
But then the leg, the alluring smell, or no, she takes it, goes into her corner like an animal and eats it.
Right, and she goes back like kind of into a dark corner, so you can't see much, but you can see that she is not human.
Yeah, because she's all red. She kind of looks like a alien from Star Wars.
Right,
those sexy aliens,
the sexy ones.
Yeah. But at this point, Klaus he convinces Ben, like, let's go downstairs. Let me tell you what's happening. And I mean, like, it's not like after this, it's sort of like we're pretty much past halfway point of the movie.
Right.
Because this is by no means a long movie. It's 86 minutes. That I think back in the day, that was barely qualified to be a on TV movie, right? And so Klaus is just trying to tell him, like, oh, if you help me put this demon away, I will give you the grimoire. Because at this point he explains, like, she's a demon. We summoned it because the Hitler had asked him to.
Right. And that this is just a lesser demon. So even though this demon has tricked and killed everybody else in this compound, this is like just
low tier,
weak demon.
Yeah.
So
but he explains this after Ben gets the bullet off of him.
Right.
And Ben is super relishing this fact because he's like, we don't have any morphine, so this is going to really hurt. But he says it with a smile on his face, like... So as he's taking it out, Klaus is just wailing in agony.
And then passes out from pain.
Well, while he's wailing in agony, the demon is super horny for it.
Yes.
And she's trying to rip the chain off the wall, which, I mean, at some point she's going to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
She's still a demon. But yeah, then he passes out. Ben sees that he has a pouch around his neck. He checks it out. It's a page from the grimoire, and so he actually replaces another page from the grimoire into that pouch, and he holds on to it because it must be important.
If he's got it in a necklace pouch.
Yeah, which I've never seen. I think that's like an old thing, right? Necklace pouch.
Must be.
Would you like one Would you like one from the Ren Fair?
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say that. I was like, I bet the people at the Ren Fair all have necklace pouches.
Well, I guess maybe back in the day it was probably to carry like what's it called, protection from hexes or whatever.
Right.
Some sort of like a supernatural suspicion, or what is it called? Not supernatural suspicion. Not a stereotype. Getting closer. Superstition.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So they probably are, Also, people really stunk back in the day, so it's probably to put like herbs or something to make people smell a little bit better.
Some orange peel in there or something.
Orange peel, lavender,
yeah.
Anything that any ingredient you can find from a Yankee candle.
Yeah,
it was probably in that pouch before. But yeah, so he replaces the page because obviously it's going to be important if he has it around the neck. Klaus wakes up, explains the whole situation. He wants to put the demon away, but he needs two people. Two people are needed for the ritual.
Right.
And so he convinces Ben, like, hey, we have to do this. Ben's sort of apprehensive because he's like, why do you want to do that if you have this weapon of yours? And Klaus is just like, just too powerful to be in this world.
Yeah.
Type of deal. And Klaus is like, Ben asks, oh, what is the punishment for treason? Or something like that. But Klaus is like, you know what? I'm going to get my wife out of the country and we're just going to escape.
I will give you the ultimate weapon when I get my wife out, your country gives us asylum.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm pretty, that actually is pretty accurate because like a lot of German scientists
did that exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, Ben agrees. They go upstairs. And as they're trying to start the ritual in the room, super horny demon girl, Ben's, I think, what was her name? Helena.
Yeah.
What?
Helena.
Helena. Yeah. I forgot. We're in New Zealand.
Potato.
Yeah. She actually rips the chain off of the wall.
Yeah. Because
she knows what they're trying to do. They're trying to put her back to hell, I guess. Right. But they close the door. He puts a symbol on it to sort of weaken her for a bit, so they can set up the little circle that they're gonna make in the communications room, which is like pretty intricate. He's like, he even had he even thought about it like an architecture because like this is our door in and out.
Right. Yeah. Don't complete the circle until we're done. This will be how we enter and exit and.
They do, what's it called? Klaus, he gathers up different body parts, puts it on every point of the star that he draws inside the double circle.
Right.
And then, he's like, candles. I don't know why rituals always need candles. And then as the moment she gets out, they complete the circle. And she is just hovering around this circle, just super horny. I'm pretty sure she just wants to eat these people, right?
Right.
But she still has the form.
Because he even asks, he's like Klaus. He's like, or Ben asks Klaus. He's like, why is she gonna come here when there's tons of dead bodies around here? Mm-hmm. And Klaus is like, well, because we're the only fresh meat, and she's wants to eat us.
Oh, that's true. Well, yeah, because and then like he probably knows like the fresher the better, right?
Right.
So obviously she doesn't want to eat scraps, when there's 2 prime ribs in the middle of the room. But she's really into trying to coax Ben into helping her.
Right. Because you don't know how long she's been around, Klaus. But Klaus is obviously fallen for her tricks, but has realized what she is and is now kind of immune to her
wiles.
Yes.
But he is still pretty fresh in his wife's passing.
And he is definitely still mourning his wife, and if there's a possibility that this could be her.
Yeah. No matter how low the chances are, right?
Right.
But yeah, so as she's trying to coax him, she's about to take off her top, and this is where I thought, like, oh, cool, we're gonna get to see some New Zealand boobies. We don't. Because then she turns into a full-fledged demon, all red with the broken wings, which I enjoyed. I was like, oh, that's a nice touch.
Definitely. Yep.
But then if she's like a lower tier demon, but she was an angel, it's hard for me to believe that she was a lower tier demon that's a fallen angel. Or maybe in this world, like all demons
were angels.
Have broken wings,
right?
Or something, which is a terrible way to give birth to anybody with ridges sticking out. I'm hoping that demons are born in eggs. Like that's probably the best solution, right?
Yeah.
Or you know what?
They're created,
right? Just created.
Just created.
But yeah, so she strips down. We do get to see some New Zealand butt,
right?
Which is a very healthy looking butt.
It is a fit butt.
Yeah. Not to be confused with the Fitbit that could be worn on your wrist.
Right.
But yeah, and then she entices him more. He goes to the edge of the circle. She's like licking his face. It gets super sexual. Like it almost gets a species level sexual up in here.
Because she is still very sexy and very feminine as a demon.
Yes.
And Klaus is in the background just
He's reciting the incantation.
Yeah.
But like if you listen to the incantation, actually, it doesn't sound like an incantation to send a demon back.
Right.
It sounded like an incantation for the demon to obey him. Right?
Yes.
Because I don't exactly remember it, but a lot of it says under my command, this and that, but it's not under my command. Go back to where you came from.
Right. And then when Ben questions it, he's like, Klaus is like, this is the incantation we have to say to weaken her, and then we can send her back.
But as Ben is almost falling for this demon's trap, she warns him about Klaus's attack.
Yes.
Because he is about to finish, I guess, the ritual. He turns around and gets a couple fingers cut off.
Yeah, because the ritual ends with a human sacrifice, which Ben didn't know was him.
Yeah. Well, I think any ritual that you need two people for, I feel like someone's gonna die.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And you always want to be the guy holding the book, not the one that's just hanging out.
Yeah.
But at this point, they get into a struggle. Ben sort of overpowers the weakened Klaus.
Right. Because he was shot.
And stabbed.
Yeah.
So he throws him over to the demon because the demon's like, yeah, give it to me.
Right. Yes, because she's like, hey, if you give me the German, I will let you go free.
Yeah. Or he'll get powers or something when the demon armies come. Something like that. She tries to bargain with him.
Yeah, a couple different things.
Yeah. But then he does end up throwing him to the demon. But Klaus at this point, he gets so earlier on the movie, he gets the pouch back, and he explains why the pouch is so important, because the pages keep the words of her keep him safe.
Yes, because basically it's the incantation that brought her. Mm-hmm. So she can't harm the person who has that.
Yeah, because I feel like it's like a contract type of deal.
Yeah.
Right? And so he's like, haha, you cannot harm me. And then she says, oh, the deceiver has been deceived. As Ben, in his most menacing look, the menacing look is always chin down, eyes rolled up, looking at you, pulls it out of his pocket, and he's like, haha. And so I think this is probably one of the more creative kills I've seen in a long time.
Right.
Also, because I'm pretty sure the budget was pretty low, they used a good amount of camera work and some practical effects, enough to make her cheek and then the top of her face sort of expand.
Right.
But she bites off his head very slowly.
Right. Yeah. She Anaconda slowly ingests his head and then bites it off.
Well, I think she wanted to get the brain first.
Right.
That's when you're eating an oyster.
And then you start thinking about all the bodies that are mutilated are all missing heads.
Yeah.
So apparently that is the kill of choice for her.
That is probably the best part. It's like the flavor chip in a bag of chips.
Right.
But yeah, so at this point she's still outside of the circle, but then the blood from Klaus leaks into the circle. Ben tries to start to recite the incantation, but she's like, you can't put me away.
Yeah, and then she's like, oh, and your friend made me a happy little bridge, so I can come into the circle. And so as long as she walks on the blood,
she's fine. So she gets to him. She sucks on his finger stumps.
Right, where he just got his fingers.
Wildly erotic. No, just kidding. Well, so at this point, I thought she was gonna suck on them, and then the moment she pulled her mouth away, his fingers would be back.
I actually thought that same thing.
Right, but then they weren't. He just tastes really good to her, because apparently she had said earlier that the meat or the flesh of a good man is the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and so they start making out, and it's almost pornographic on this. But then he he pulls her down, and she's sort of like, it's, I think, the first time the demon looks a little bit more vulnerable than it ever has been.
Right.
Because she's like, what's wrong? And he's like, you don't think I'd recognize my wife's taste? I was like, whoa. Smell, feel, and then he chains her back up to another wall.
Yeah.
Which I guess in this compound, there's just chains all over the place.
Well, right, and she also had brought the chain that she had pulled out of the wall down with her.
Yeah, but because then you do see him tying it or installing it into the wall.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, I don't know when he had time to do that. Well, you know what? Maybe the chain was infused with like salt and iron, so maybe that weakens a demon. I'm just going off.
Oh, right, because they did make the comment of you could restrain her for a short amount of time with an iron chain.
Oh, okay. And then I'm pretty sure they said something about how she couldn't cross like salt water,
right,
or something like that.
So if she kills everybody on the island, then she's basically stranded herself.
Oh yeah. See, I'm also just going off supernatural lore. The TV show that has entered its 15th season. Time to catch up, guys. But yeah,
there's got to be a couple episodes with some evil Nazi demons.
I don't think there is.
15 seasons? Maybe there probably is.
But yeah, so he's like, I'm actually doing you a favor. There's gonna be more soldiers that'll come here, and then you could just wile them. Because he's like, there's more soldiers with wives and girlfriends you could trick. And then she's like, oh, how the mighty have fallen. But he reiterates that this war has to be won by somebody.
Right.
Why not by the most evil? Or why not by the most righteous?
Yes.
Or the lesser of two evils?
And I totally took that because earlier Klaus had talked about, hey, if I take this demon and I let her loose in like England, she's just gonna eat her way all the way till she gets to like the prime minister.
He says Churchill.
Churchill,
who is a very prominent historic figure, guys.
Yes. So that's basically his thing is she's just gonna eat everybody who comes, and if only Germans know about this base, it's just German after German's gonna come in here, and she's just going to devour them all, and she's gonna win the war by basically eating all the Germans.
Just imagine finding that island afterwards, and it's just like a dead German body mountain.
Yeah.
But it's also a good plan for Germany to release her in London, because she'll just eat all of London.
Right.
And it'll just be desolated.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm actually doing you a favor. You're going to eat all the people that come here anyway. And then and then she's like, oh, what about when there's no one coming anymore? And which he rebuttals with, then after that, I'll send you back to hell.
Yeah.
Which is actually, man, this was it's a decent plan.
Right. Right.
But then again, she might learn how to use that big cannon thing that they have on the island and just start, like, sending them off one by one once a year. I don't know. But yeah, and after that, he goes to the beach. He buries the photo of his wife and a memento, which I think
that was his
his friends.
Partners, yeah.
Okay. And he buries it on this black sand beach, which is also really cool. I've never seen a black sand beach before.
Right.
But after that, he looks into the distance, and he sees like the planes, and he sees the thing, and D-Day has started.
Right. Yep.
And presumably, him working before this has helped win the war.
Right. Well, because there's no Germans left to man the cannon that was going to be shooting down these planes.
I mean, but still, it's like only one cannon. How many planes is that thing going to shoot down?
They only showed one. Maybe there's multiples. And maybe there's multiples on the different islands, right. Channel Islands, and this is just the story of the two guys because they met the demon.
Okay. But so we sort of cut to an end, but then we get another cutscene where a German soldier gets into the compound, and then he's super surprised that his girlfriend is there.
Right.
Which is like, no, oh my god, demon. At that point, I'm like, oh no, demon. I guess, I don't know. How would you rationalize that? It's like, what is my wife doing on this compound? Right?
Right, but who knows? If you've been a German soldier and you were gone for so long, who knows if they were like, oh, hey,
we need more soldiers.
We're taking your husband to the Channel Islands, and there's going to be a whole lot of nothing for him to do unless planes fly by. So let's bring the fam.
But yeah, presume they speak German, but then I guess on Tubi where we watched this movie on, it didn't have the subtitles for it.
Right, but you definitely get that they know each other, that she's
probably his wife or girlfriend.
Right, and it's like her trying to explain to him why she's there, and him being like, oh, I buy that. Let's...
And then the movie cuts to black. Kobe, I forgot to ask you before we started this whole plot review. What did you think? How did you come to watch this movie, and then what did you think about it?
Okay, so I was looking for last week's movie, Frankenstein's Army, and I just saw this, and the movie poster, like the little cover, whatever picture that they is super sexy Nazi lady, and I was just like,
oh yeah, it is.
I'm just like, I just watched Frankenstein's Army. Let's go ahead and watch this because I don't have anything to do for the next 2 hours. And so just happened that was like the next movie that popped up in line.
Oh yeah. Oh man, what did you think about? Like, so you didn't watch the trailer or anything?
So I didn't watch the trailer or anything. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't even read the synopsis. I was just, that's bad me. I was just like, sexy Nazi lady.
You definitely thought there was going to be boobs in this.
And there was the opportunity to be a lot, but it was very sexy without showing anything.
Oh no, we did get to see
we got to see
demon boobs.
Oh, but it was
when she hugged Klaus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got to see some boobs. It was just red, all Sith-like. Yeah. Well, when you first came up to this, when you first told me about the movies you watch, I was like, "What Nazis? What demons? Yes." And I think that's the moment we're like, "Oh, let's just turn this into Nazi horror month."
Yep.
Kobe, did you have any favorite parts in this film?
The first time you see her as a demon, just like all in the dark and just like little bits of her at a time, that was very cool. Like it was a very, it's not that this was like a low budget, but it was a really well made movie for not being over the top and not like being all practical effects and stuff. I mean, it was very cool. And so like a lot of that, it reminded me like of an old like kind of black and white movie where it's scary because you don't see
too much. Yeah. It totally reminded me of like films where what's it called? Like sort of like almost like a 90s horror film with like a better way to tell the story.
Hey, right.
Because I mean, let's be honest. Like I love 90s horror films as much as Colby does, but after a while, it kind of like it starts to look. The story and everything is pretty corny.
Yeah.
This one, it gives you that sort of feeling because when they had the demon girl, it's all like prosthetic makeup.
Right.
You know, she's all red. You know the nice touch with the whole broken angel wing and all that stuff. The extra layers on her face for like to make it look sort of more distorted. Yep. Which it was really cool for me.
But else? Right, it wasn't like super over the top. It wasn't like Legend where like the giant horn. Yeah.
Oh.
And it wasn't like super evil, spiky all over demon. It was simple, like you said, like almost Star Wars-y. It's got like a little bit of couple little horns, and then it was,
Yeah, nothing about this film was over the top.
Right.
It was pretty much, because I think it was like a pretty serious type of film that they're trying to do. So
right.
I think they sort of like they wanted to dial back on like extravagant horns, like they didn't want to do like Hellboy type of horns.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Or oh my god, what was that movie? I Frankenstein. There's like a demon at the end of that one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it wasn't too bad. Anything else that you liked about it?
I don't know. It was. Even though there was quite a bit of build up before they even kind of met the first German, it was never boring.
Yeah.
And it even though it was like a slow burn, it was like a well paced slow burn. And then once they met the demon, it was like it kind of got into it, and then it got and then it wrapped itself up.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah. Because this is still the early, came out in 2011. So slow burn type of horror films weren't really in yet.
Right.
Not like the last, 3-4 years with like Midsummer, Hereditary, Apostle,
Us,
The Witch.
Get Out.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. The one with the blind guy.
Lights Out?
Lights Out.
No, not Lights Out. I forgot. No, Lights Out is the flickering light one.
Oh, not that one.
But yeah. So, like, a lot of those movies, or a lot of these movies now are, like, all slow burn. This one, like I said, like you said, like, it was kind of a slow burn, but then it picked up the pace when it needed to.
Yeah. Because,
like I said, it was only 86 minutes.
Right. And it didn't try to stretch that. There was a lot more they could have done, or they could have extended scenes, but they didn't need to, and it just kind of it felt like it ended when it should.
Yeah, exactly. I think my favorite,
not like House Shark, which was
House Shark. We are never doing that movie for this podcast.
Possibly 10 minutes too long.
10 minutes too long. I think House Shark's runtime was almost as like an Avenger movie. I think my favorite part of this is they established, because it's like, it is not a long movie, but then they at least made an effort to establish a lore
right
to it. She can't go over like bodies of salt water. Iron will hold her for a little bit, so they give you a little bit of tidbits.
I can't remember, but from the book, he had given her a name and the type of demon she was.
Yeah, it was a shapeshifter demon. All I kept thinking about was like, it's a sexy demon.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty much almost maybe I forgot what I'm pretty sure they gave it a name too.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I just kept thinking it was like a whack version of a succubus, because at least a succubus will like do it with you before she kills you.
Right, but it was definitely succubi-ish.
Yeah. Which was really cool. I liked how they did her makeup for the demon portion. I like the psychological sort of game that she had started playing with Ben.
Right.
Which I don't think we touched
Right,
up
and
on.
then even after she showed her real self, she went back to that and then re-sucked him back in, even knowing what she was.
Yeah. I mean, and it's one of the lines too is when she has Klaus in her grasp finally, she pretty much calls him like a little lambs, or like a child still playing with toys type of deal, because she's like, you haven't learned how to kill people.
Right.
Yeah. With the amount of the people you've only killed. So she like totally just not demoralizes, but just patronizes his evil to hers.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't want to meet the upper demons after that. Like, and I wonder, like what the male version of her demon is, because she's like biting off the heads of men. I always think like the male version is gonna eat like a girl's butt. I feel like the male version will just start from the bottom. Oh man, Kobe, what would you rate this movie? Oh, so just a little update on our rating list. We have decided to add a Stream It as our lowest tier.
Right.
What? So we have Stream It, new DVD, or used DVD, new DVD, used Blu-ray, new Blu-ray, and Ultimate Collection.
Ultimate box set. Yeah. I don't really see any reason to go all the way to Ultimate box set on this one. But being practical, I don't think you get any degradation on some of those, like the special effects on some of the stuff when you're like, oh, I don't want it too high def because then it looks fake.
Yeah.
I would probably go like used Blu-ray on this.
Oh.
I really enjoyed this. I actually I watched it so before we did Frankenstein, or right after Frankenstein's Army. So last week, and then I've watched it again twice this week.
You watched it twice this week?
Yeah.
Just to make sure I get all the little tidbits.
Right. So I've seen it 3 times in like 10 days. And yeah, I like catch little things every time. And
also, you're saying it has replay value?
It does have a little.
Yeah.
It's not really the kind of movie like usually I'm all like, hey, this is great. Throw it on the background when you're having a party. This is not the kind of like this is a sit and watch movie.
Yeah, I feel like you have to pay attention to this film.
Yeah.
Just because, like you said, you've watched it already 3 times, but you keep catching up new things on it, which is awesome. Me, I would probably just get this like a bargain bin new DVD. Just because it is a pretty interesting film. I don't think there's going to be a ton of like special features I'll get from it.
Right.
But it is definitely one like I would add to my collection. Other than that, I don't know what else to say about this film. I think because it's a short film, so like I think we kind of went through it, right?
Right. Acting was great. I mean, really for what?
Oh yeah,
what you got?
Yeah,
like,
wow. Forgot to we talk about the actors in this. It was really good. Like I feel like they really sold this film.
Right, and I mean, it was really only 3 major characters, but you got to really kind of know in the 10 minutes that or 15 minutes that his partner was in it. You got to know him and
yeah, because it felt like his partner was like, yeah, you need you need to move on from your dead wife.
Right. And he even made the joke about that. He was like, hey, we blow up this gun, you're going to get a medal, and then women will be like throwing themselves at you.
So I think in that short amount, I think it was like 15 minutes, they actually did a good enough job to make you feel like, wow, they're such good friends.
Right.
And he's like, his partner, his squad partner or whatever, is someone that's just really trying to look out for his friend.
Right.
Help him move on from his
yeah, not just
wife.
like let's survive this mission, but let's
hang out.
Let's get back to real life.
So there's something I feel like that's super wrong for me just to be like dead wife. I think there's a nicer way to say it. But yeah, it's his dead wife.
Right.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. We will definitely continue next week's episode with another Nazi film.
Goodness. And none of these are kind to the Nazis. I apologize to any of our Nazi listeners. No offense.
Wait, what? I don't want Nazis. Oh man. Obviously the Nazis. I think it's just a pretty ripe topic for a lot of people to do.
Yeah, right.
So, of course, you guys are gonna come off good. But yeah, we will be back next week with another Nazi horror film. And I hope you guys enjoyed this week. Barry.
I'm Coley.
This is Who Watches This. Theme music is made by Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. You can find it on the FMA.com. Music for Podcast 3.
Thank you.